Hello everybody, question and answer time, video number 3. I've been sent this question by an old friend of mine, and I thought that rather than responding directly via message, I would send a video response because it's a good question and I think that some of you may be able to get something from this. So the question reads, "Hey Levi, I just wondered if you had any advice. Since having to move from London, my playing has completely gone to pot and I'm struggling to improve or even get the motivation to push through when I'm wanting to learn something. One of the biggest problems is that I never really learned any licks, like at all. So my playing tends to be like the way the guy that you did those videos on talks on, just a lot of rambling with no real point or weight to the conversation. Anything that you can think of to make me get over that hill and actually get to the other side without getting frustrated would be a real help." It's a great question, because we all suffer from these issues, myself included. Everyone I've ever met that plays music reaches these places in our lives where we feel that we're reaching a plateau or there's nothing fresh going on in our playing, and it's frustrating. But you're an interesting case because you seem to know the problem, right? You already acknowledge that you don't really have that much vocabulary in your bag, and that will lead to rambling when you're trying to pick up the guitar and play something that's fresh to you, because you're constantly looking for words, right? You know that I like to use language as a way of describing the things that we play on the guitar, so let's do it here. Licks are the equivalent of phrases, words. It's vocabulary. You can't expect to speak a language if you only know letters. You need to know some traditional words and phrases that, like, how you doing? Or do you get me? Phrases like that, when I use them in conversation, you know what they mean, and therefore it kind of gives some sort of context to the way that I'm playing. So I think the most important thing for you would be to go out and learn some actual vocabulary, learn some solos. And this is often missed, even from young guitar players that do spend a lot of their time learning solos. But that's because often you can learn these things very much as a kind of connect the dots, follow the tab kind of thing, where the goal is to be able to play the solo from start to finish. And really all you're doing is just focusing on that goal rather than really learning the solo while you're doing it. I've not played Robin Ford's solo on Talk to Your Daughter in a long time, but I'm pretty confident that if I reach over here, I can pick up my guitar and go. That's not how that bit goes. Oh, evidently I forget the ending of the solo. But that's the point, like there's licks in there. This is a lick. There's a lick. Or that's a lick. There's a lick. And licks and phrases and ideas like that are a very important part of developing your playing. It's incredibly important because I have all of those licks as just vocabulary, and when I'm improvising on my own, when I'm playing over something that I want to do, if I'm playing something and it's in the key of B flat, so I'm using some of that vocabulary in my own phrasing. I think that's a very important thing to take into consideration. It's very important to have this understanding of vocabulary. So that would be the first thing I would recommend doing. Go out and learn a solo like Robin Ford's Talk to Your Daughter or Robin Ford's Help the Poor, which are two solos which are full of great vocabulary. And think of these phrases that are being played in small sections, a 2-bar phrase, and learn it, be able to play it in different keys. So when you're jamming, you can use these ideas in your playing. That's one bit of advice for you. The other bit of advice is turn your head to a different style. it's easy to reach a plateau when you are focused on one thing and you're achieving some sort of level of ability in it. But when you switch and you start playing something else, something totally different to where you feel comfortable, you're fresh again, and your ability will probably help you get a little bit further in that style. As you know, I'm well versed in playing lots of different styles of music, and I don't do it because I feel that I have to. I do it because I genuinely love playing lots of different styles of music. So I play a lot of blues, and I play a lot of jazzier stuff and funk, but obviously, like, I've got a country book out, and I love country music, and I've been playing a lot of nylon string country finger picking stuff. But I've got a heavy metal album out. I'm really into lots of things. I love playing slide guitar. And that's the beauty of playing lots of things. I can pick up a slide and just see the instrument as a totally different thing. And all of those plateaus, all of those walls that were getting in the way of my playing, suddenly they're not there anymore because I'm focusing on something else. And lastly, don't beat yourself up, because this is what you're really doing here. You're beating yourself up because you're not motivated to practice. You should never feel bad for that. When you pick up the guitar, it should be something that you enjoy doing. You shouldn't feel bad for not picking it up. It's fine if you don't pick the guitar up. Sometimes taking a break from the guitar and not playing it for a couple of days can be the best thing to help you move forward, because you need to come to the instrument both fresh and passionate. If you're doing it because you feel you have to, it's probably time to take a break and clear your head and start thinking about some other things in life, because it all comes down to experience, right? Playing music well, it's about life experience, at least in my experience. The more I learn about life, the more I sort of change the way I play. And that could be categorized for most players. When you look at, for example, the shred thing, and maybe this is going to upset some people, but when you look at shredders tends to be a phase that a lot of young guitar players go through, where they focus on speed. And when you listen to someone like Scott Henderson talk about technique on the Guitar Wank podcast, you'll hear him talk about this. Students at GIT and the young guys, they're all worried about speed. That's totally natural. I feel that's just part of growing. And as you grow older and you become more confident with yourself as a person, and you find less need to prove yourself to other people, some of those elements kind of disappear from your playing. That's cool. It's not saying there's anything wrong with shredding. Of course, I love to shred. But it's just saying that the more and more you learn about life, the more and more you'll bring that into your playing. So right now, you're putting too much pressure on yourself, man. Relax about it a little bit. Even just take a break from playing and listen to a lot of music. Listen to great licks. Can you sing some great licks? I guess that would be a good question. I could, sing 100 cool licks for you, maybe some that I can't even play, but that's the point, right? I'm focusing on that rather than pressure on myself of being the best. There's no best. I mean, there is the best. You are currently the best. You are the best you. So keep working. Don't be demotivated. Thank you very much for the question. If anyone else has enjoyed this question, there's a like button somewhere. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop me a comment, ask me questions, and if it's a good question, I may just respond to you. Peace out, guys. It's been my pleasure to chat with you, and I will be back. Bye.